Hello, ladies. Today, I'm going to do something that needs to be done. As I mentioned in the first video, I am not the only victim of Ron Eckstine. And what I'm about to show you today are the other victims of Ron Eckstine. Just for the record, if this is your first time watching my video about this man and you have no idea who I'm talking about, well, Ron Eckstine is the son of Billy Eckstine. Billy Eckstine was and still is widely recognized as the late great jazz singer from the 40s and 50s. Ron Eckstine will use his background being Billy Eckstine's son as one of his hooks to lure naive young girls into his world, which was Hollywood, California. He touted himself as this prominent personal artist manager and promising careers in the music and even acting industries, as I came to learn from some of these complaints you're about to hear. Again, I want to make it clear, very clear, that my issue is only with Ron Eckstine and Ron Eckstine alone. I only met Ron Eckstine. I only dealt with Ron Eckstine. I did not deal with, nor do I know in person, the rest of the Eckstine family. Ron was the one that did the damage here. And that is why I am putting him, and only him, on blast. And whether I hate to admit this or not, this man was a part of my life. I dealt with him in person for at least 4 months of my life back in 2002. So yes, of course I'm going to talk about him and what he did to me and to the rest of us victims. But again, I'm doing this because I want to show you that I am not his only victim, that I have not made this up, and that there were several other victims before me and after me. There is strength in numbers, and usually that's what it takes for victims of these predators to even be heard. It is so hard for many of us women to step forward and speak up when perverted men like this take advantage of us. I just want to shine a light, continue to shine a light on predatory men like Ron Eckstine. Because again, he is not the only one. This man, Ron Eckstine, represents just a grain in the sand of the many, many manipulative creeps we ladies have to deal with when pursuing careers in the entertainment industry, especially in Hollywood. And well, the few of us that are brave enough to speak our truth need to be heard. Just look at this, ladies. Look at this. There are over 12 complaints here. 12 complaints on this website alone against this Ron Eckstine creep. And the stories are harrowing. Harrowing. All of these complaints, these horror stories can be found on the website called ripoff.com. But even more horror stories can be found on the Ron Eckstine complaint board, which is yet another website. Yes, this predator had been very, very busy. But now we're busy. Busy exposing creeps like these for what they are. We will not be silenced. We will not be silenced. We will not be silenced. So listen up, predators, because you're about to get this work. Here we go. Ron Eckstine, management. Ron Eckstine is a sexual predator. Beware, Beverly Hills, California. That's the subject heading of this one. And this is what one of Ron Eckstine's many, many victims have to say. I was a young, naive, aspiring model slash actor from Australia. Ron Eckstine had contacted me in 1999. I had only been online in 1998, so the internet was still new to me. Ron found my website on a modeling forum. He told me he is the son of Billy Eckstine and gave me a link to Ron Eckstine Management. I was rather impressed with his bio. He faxed the industry breakdowns to me in Australia. I was so excited to see actual breakdowns of roles for upcoming TV and film projects in the USA. Ron encouraged me to move to LA as opposed to a few months. I first came to the US in 1995 as a visitor with my mother and fell in love with the country. I knew this is the country where dreams could come true and you didn't have to explain or defend your dreams, which was common in Australia among quote-unquote boring, repetitious 9-to-5 folk. I ended up moving to LA in August 1999 and stayed with an elderly friend of my family in Redondo Beach. Ron had picked me up from Redondo Beach as I was without a car, and we went over to his office in Beverly Hills. On the drive to his office, Ron asked me if I was single. At the time, I was, and he was pleased. He tried to assure me that girls who have boyfriends while trying to establish their careers wouldn't be successful as their relationships will get in the way, and he didn't want to work with those that were in a relationship. Sounds very, 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 very familiar. Now, I'm going to skim through this because her story is really, really long, and you can read it on your own, ladies, on ripoff.com. But let me get to a part where things get really harrowing for this poor young lady. So let me start reading here. Soon, Ron had showered and was ready to go to bed. He said I could come into the bedroom if I wanted. I said I was fine on the couch. He asked me a few times, but I hesitated. Soon enough, I had turned out the lights and was on the couch ready to sleep, and Ron appeared right before my eyes with his hand out. He walked me back to the bedroom. I asked where I am going to sleep, and he said beside him. I wasn't comfortable with this, but he assured me I would be only sleeping beside him, and foolishly I went into the bed. He began running his penis up and down my leg. I became so upset and had tears pouring down my cheeks. I so desperately wanted to believe he was not like this. He said he wanted to play quote unquote sexual games, and if I played quote unquote games with him, he would pay for my green card. I refused, clinging so desperately to any hope. I confronted him by asking if that meant he would not represent me. He said he wouldn't, and then later changed his answer by saying yes. I was crying my heart out. Ron began masturbating in front of me, had wanted me to lower my panties as he did so. I picked up my bag and belongings. At that time, Ron's stripper roommate, Roxanne, came home and closed her bedroom door. I knocked on her bedroom door and she opened it and looked at my tear-stained face with no emotion. I told her what he did while he was standing beside me. She closed the door in my face. I was horrified. How could another girl do that? Ron said to me, "Get the fuck out of my house." He told me he had so much money from his father, and I told him he is spoiled. A cab picked me up, and it was a very expensive ride back to Redondo Beach. I called the Screen Actors Guild to report the story, but I never reported it to the police. I want to warn everyone to stay away from this mentally ill and deranged con artist. Because of what Ron did, I have suffered depression and panic attacks and relationship problems. I am currently receiving cognitive therapy for what this monster did. And ladies, as you just heard, this creep, this predator, known as Ron Eckstine, invaded this young woman's body. And why? Because sex is an invasive act. It is an act of submission, psychologically and emotionally. It does something to our psyche as women. It psychologically affects us, especially when we didn't grant him the right to touch us in that way. Well, this Ron Eckstine victim did not grant him that permission. He invaded her space, he invaded her body, physically and psychologically raped her. And that's what this predator has been doing for years to naive, trusting, full of hopes and dreams young ladies, just like her and like I once was as well. If you have my book in your hands, The Other Hiroshima, or in front of your screens, if you got it as a download, then you know everything this man did to me. Everything. So graphic that I'm even hesitant to read it on here. Okay, let's keep going. Ron Eckstine Management, REM, he pretended that he is a real manager, that he has been very famous as Billy Eckstine's son. He promised me to be a successful singer, but then he wanted me to dance nude in LA. He pretends he has money to cover all the marketing, but it is just words. Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, but he resides in Wilshire, Beverly Hills, California. Hi, girls. This man is a very dangerous person. He is into pornography. He lives with two girls that he stole their lives now. They can't get away from him. He cut them from everybody. He pretends that he knows what he is doing, but actually he will try to get you to end up in bed with him. He tries to find girls that are sexy, out of the area, and hopeless. He promises fame and more. And the stories are so similar. The stories go hand in hand with each other. The stories continue to get more harrowing and more harrowing. As you can see, it is just a nightmare to have ended up with this man, Ron Eckstine. He asks you to trust him and that he doesn't use drugs and is sexually happy. You will find out soon that he sleeps with Jennifer Day. Isabel is in one bedroom. They all live in one apartment of 2 bedrooms. He buys clothes to seduce you. Then he will turn around to get you to sign a tricky contract, and that is dangerous. You will become his property. He does performances at Playpen Theater, which looks like a small cave. Be careful of this man. He does a lot of tricky things to get girls in bed with him. Take care of yourself, girls. He will destroy your life and seduce you with cars that he rents and tell you that they are yours. These are his victims. These are his actual victims, ladies. Okay, it wasn't just me. These are the other Ron Eckstine victims. In order for these Hollywood businessmen to help you, they usually require you to screw them, okay? That is not a joke. That is not made up. These are real life accounts of the actual victims that were right there in person with this man. Okay, and there are several just like him. Ron Eckstine is an unscrupulous talent manager who pretends that he has a legitimate interest in managing the careers of young singers/actresses. In reality, this is a smokescreen for getting these girls into strip clubs and possibly pornographic films. I encountered him in the late 1990s and very nearly became one of his victims. If you won't listen to me, then please listen to them. Please, ladies, listen to somebody, but listen. Your daughter, your sister, your cousin, somebody you know is an aspiring singer, somebody you know is an aspiring model, somebody you know is an aspiring actress. And Ron Eckstine was just one of thousands upon thousands of these predatory men that your loved ones will encounter in all of these industries. At the end of the day, they're just going to use up your body, make you empty promises, discard you, and move on to the next gullible victim. You have a better chance at winning at a scratch-off lottery ticket. Please understand that there are hundreds of thousands of girls just like your sister, just like your daughter, just like your cousin, or maybe even just like you if it is you who is trying to break into show business. With Ron Eckstine, it was the music business. This man had another girl auditioning for him right there in his apartment while I was there. While I was under the impression that I was already chosen to fill in the third spot for his girl group volume. Again, empty promises. You are so much better off going independent and streaming your own music online. What happened to me was way back in the year 2002. Okay? What you have at your fingertips today in 2023 did not exist back then in 2002. You have a better chance at being heard with your music without spreading your legs or going down on your knees for none of these perverts. Your body being violated, it is something you will never forget. So please, ladies, don't do that to yourself. It's been 21 years later, and I've never forgotten what this horrible person did to me, to my body. Don't let it happen to you. That's what I'm here for. That's part of the reason why I wrote my book, The Other Hiroshima, so that you can read the real life horror of what these predators in show business are capable of doing to you, to your daughter, to your sister, to your cousin, to your best friend. From Ron Eckstine in the music business to all of the predators in the modeling business that I dealt with, my stories are there. I gave away my book for free on Amazon for 3 straight days so that it can get into the hands of as many young women as possible. And I am so grateful, so humbled by your support because hundreds of you went out of your way to download my book for free and pushed it, not to number 100, not to number 50, not even to number 2, but to the number 1 spot. Yes, number 1 in the biographies of actors and entertainers category, but it made number 1. And guess what, ladies? It did so well that then Amazon went out of its way and featured my book in their Explore Black Authors this month. And I am so honored by that. So very honored, because February is Black History Month, and it just means so much more. It makes it so much more special. This is a really, really special accomplishment, not just for me, but for us all. The book is the voice. I consider my book, The Other Hiroshima, to be our voice, the voice, so that these horrible experiences with these horrible men will never happen to you, so that you can make wiser decisions in your dreams to become a singer, wiser decisions in your dreams to become a model, wiser decisions in your dreams to become an actress, without putting yourself in vulnerable positions where these perverted men can manipulate and even rape you. Understand, please, ladies, understand. These men don't have to give you SHIT. They will take. Oh, they will definitely take. But 9 times out of 10, they will not give you SHIT, because there are millions of girls, women just like you, waiting for their turn to be the next Cardi B, waiting for their turn to be the next Saweetie, waiting for their turn to be the next Doja Cat, waiting for their turn to be the next Lotto, the next Ice Spice, waiting for their turn to be the next Beyonce, the next Rihanna, or Chloe Bailey. You name it, and they know it. Ladies, the link to access my memoir, The Other Hiroshima, is in the description box below. Again, all of my horror stories are there. All of them. You can still get it as an ebook, a paperback, or hardcover. It is my real life in the raw, and I hope that it continues to shine a light on these predators, these rapists, these monsters, and make this world a much safer place for our young girls and women, as well as our young boys. I have not forgotten our boys, but because my channel is mostly women, as I am addressing the woman, okay? But our young boys also suffer at the hands of these predators, okay? And they also need our voices. Once again, thank you for listening. #Victims of Ron Eckstine.